I was doing a lot of impressionistic painting, a lot of heavy textured painting and landscapes and some figures, but it's not really. Every time I paint that style, I'm okay with it. I'm happy, but it's really not. There's nothing that's inside of me makes me like wow, you know. And I'm trying to figure it out. So every time I go to museums, I always end up in the European masters, the old Renaissance masters, and I spend hours just staring at them. Why? It's because they master their art, even though at that time they're trying to figure out how to make pigments. They're making pigments out of fruits and vegetables and clay and such, and not like today that we have all of the luxury of bright colors and things like that. So I started painting more into that realistic painting, and every time I finish a painting, or even halfway, where I can figure it out, I can see something is really forming, I get excited. And I don't know where it's really going to direct me in this style, but I'm going to learn from the old masters, and that's what I want. That's what I've been doing. I've been copying old masters' paintings, and when you do that, it reveals some secrets from how they use the brush strokes, and the palette that they use, and so I'm enjoying it at this point, and like I said, I don't know where it's going to lead me, but that's where I'm staying at the moment. My mentor, Karen Street, she lived in Europe for in her early years, and had studied some of the European paintings, and so she's the one that gave me the basic step-by-step painting methods of the old masters. Now, it might be shortcut in a way that I do it, but essentially, it's also follows the direction that they go. Like, they will start the painting, map everything. For example, if it's a portrait, you map everything where the perimeter of the face, where the nose is going to be, the eyes, the ears. So you map it out first before you continue on, and then work on how the light falls onto the face, where the shadows is going to be, and essentially what you're doing is you're taking a three-dimensional and putting it into a two-dimensional world, and sometimes it doesn't. When you look at a three-dimensional, it doesn't transfer if you copy it exactly the way you're seeing it. It doesn't transfer. So what I'm saying is that step by step, there's a method of this whole process of painting. You choose one color, and you develop the shape of the mapping and everything, and then from there you can that's where the studying of the old masters, how they use different colors to, when you mix it, it looks like flesh, it looks like the shadow, the colors are sort of that. So that's how I start with my process. Now, I'm using oil-based paint, and initially what I do is I thin it out, very thin, almost thinner, and then just make a sketch with that very thin paint to give me some mapping onto the canvas. And then that's also at the same time, when you use it that way, you can, if you don't like the way it looks, you can come back with a rag and erase it and go back again. And then after you've got everything formed with the shadow and and you're happy with it, let it dry, and then you come back with what we call glazing. Meaning to say you thin out the paint with not only thinner, but you mix it with other medium like linseed oil, liquid, and there's a number of publications out there that will list you the different materials that are available today. And just think about it, during the time of Rembrandt and the old masters, I mean, it is hard for them to figure out what to do. Now it's in front of us, that it's just, they just experiments, and that's one beauty of where we are right now. There's some exercises that we use. We scribble, scribble, that's just a pencil, scribble on a piece of paper, and then on the tracing paper, try to copy it without tracing it, and then put the tracing paper on top of it and see how close you are. Like a 6 seconds, 10 seconds sketching like this, and then you can do it three times and see how close you can get. If you're a basketball player, you have to go in the foul, and try your free throws. I mean, and the same thing with anything else. If you're a baseball player, you gotta practice batting or whatnot. It's the same thing with us. I mean, with the artists, you gotta figure out how you can improve every single day. The world of art is so vast that a young person that is intrigued by something in the art field, they might be intrigued in, oh my gosh, look at this sculpture. How can somebody do this? Or let's say a painting, an abstract painting. How can this, anything that you're interested in and happy when you're looking at it, go to the libraries, go and read some books about that person, or learn everything that you need to learn about a particular interest of, that's the most important thing. It's not like, oh, beautiful, like painting flowers. I'll get a canvas, I'll get some paint, and I start painting. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. There's a process to it. The first thing is to ignite that light that makes you feel, alive when you're looking at something like, that's the most beautiful picture or the most beautiful painting. What you want to do is what's the most important thing.